Hi there, welcome back to this wonderful channel of Excel leading to PAYE withholding taxes and all that. Please, if you have not been following, if this is your first time viewing this video and you don't have Excel experience, you may need to go back some few video clips back in this series leading us to this particular point where we have our payroll set up to this section of where we have salary scale, which is what you are using to populate values that we are seeing here for our basic transport, housing, meal, medical salary component that we got from this place. Obviously, if there are more components, we'll slot them in and then we'll need to update these places. So today, in line with our mandate to get to the point of preparing payroll by ourselves and calculating some deductions, both statutory and voluntary, before we get our net or take-home pay for each staff. Today I want us to work on more on our presentation, like formatting some of these things very well so that it looks pleasing and it's very informative at first sight. For instance, at this heading here, this column, we just say union due. We don't know, somebody might not know what union due means. We know that we deduct this amount from this total to get net, but somebody else looking at it may not be able to understand that aspect very well. So we need to correct that by putting some headings into these places and some headings here to tell us that there are salary components here, to tell us that so that is what we want to achieve today. So let's go ahead. First of all, I want to change these names. I think Jigawa just say for sure go. Okay, we have this 12 staff. Now we can go ahead and hide this again. So hide them. So these are the names that we have. So first of all, we want to have a border around, a tick border around the whole table. So we highlight the whole table. What we want is to have thick black borders around this table like so. So we go ahead and come to this border button, clicking on that little arrow there, you can see all type of borders that we can give, both for mathematical and just for presentation that have nothing to do with your calculation. You can give all borders, or right border or left border, what have you, just depending on what you want. Or you can choose no border at all. If you choose no border, you can see what has happened here. So but we want to use our border. Let's work with this border a lot. So that's the tick border out there. You can see it has given us the tick border around the whole. So instead of having all borders, let's just try to like so. Now let's just give this one a top border. So it's gonna paint the top border of our selection, the top like so. We have the top border on it, and on this one we can choose in fact, let's see how the border really works so that we understand what we're talking about. This is a cell now. The borders are what is being highlighted here for us, but this is not the border painted, it's just a selection. So if you want to paint the border now, you have selected your cell. Like you see now, I selected the top border. As you can see, it has painted just the top for me. I'll undo that. There's no border now, so you can select any type of border you want. You can see the bottom border has been selected on this particular cell, whereas this border is a top for this cell, but here it is the bottom. So you need to know exactly what you want to do. So on that, I select all border, so it's selecting all the borders like so. Undo to the bottom border. I'll clear everything now. You can also select, so it's different when you do all borders, and I'm selecting two cells right now, so it's painting the top, right, left, and everything of both the two cells. So basically for cells you have the top, right, bottom, and the left border, so you can paint whichever of them you want. I'm going to delete this one and go ahead. So for these cells now, I want to just shade the right border now, like so, as you can see. And here too, I want to the right border, and yeah, well, let's just use all borders for this guys here. All borders, I think it's necessary that way for presentation. Now as you can see, because I use all borders, it has overwritten the thick border between this highlighted cell. There is supposed to be all border here, but because the latest one I've chosen is to use all borders, the thick border has been overwritten. So we can go ahead and do that again, like so. Thick outside borders. Now, so this is what we have now. So here I want to say, let's have more space between this row and the headings. So there's need for space between this cell and the next the headings of this table. So to do that, we need to, if you need 2 rows or so, as many as possible rows that you need, you highlight and then right click and insert. As you can see, things have been shifted downwards. That is not what I want. I just need like 2 rows, highlight and insert a new space for myself right there. So in this place, I just say what I want is all of this place means salary component, but it's not written. Somebody may not know what this means, so we can just say we highlight this together, we merge them to become a new single cell. We can say salary component, like so, and then we have our deductions. Here we can say identity of the person, okay, like so. So all I want to do is to, let's make this two rows. So I'm going to convert or join these 4 rows initially. I'm going to make them just one cell. This 1 2 3 4. So I'm going to join them to become a single cell, as you can see. And this place is 2, just 1, and this place just 1, like so. So I'm going to give this place a top heading to differentiate it, top border rather, sorry, and I'm going to centralize this text, or these headings rather, such that they go to the center. This is where you middle alignment, because all of these cells now, initially there are 4 cells here before that have been merged to one. And so the content, you can align it either to the left the right, center, or what have you, and you can also align to the middle, as you can see, of the cell. Ordinarily it's at the bottom, or you could put it at the top, you could put it at the center, and then also align at the center, like so. and we can also use all border around that place, all border around this place too. We centralize it, and this place you can use all border too, and center that as well, so we can format to be bold, and then we can increase stuff like this. So guys, this is what we have. This is not containing, so we can double click to like so. I think I should centralize. Well, let's centralize all of this. Yeah, like so. This lines we need to give everybody like so. The outside border has been affected again, so let's go ahead and give thick outside borders. Yeah, I think we have something now. Let's change this font from Calibri to Area or branch script, something like this. We can adjust that, and let's save our work such that I think we have something nice going on here. Just clearly we have something new to work with. So this total should be 14. Yeah, this is better. Let's increase all of this to 13 such that it is not too small. While you can click and select, you can also type in the desired font size that you want, and as you can see, some things are overlapping and all that. Just highlight everything and double click. But when you do that, you're going to bring out hidden columns. You're going to bring out hidden columns. So when I did that, this our columns has been on hidden, and then we can hide them back like so. And we made some changes to it. We can paint this place if you want. Maybe give it a background of let's see. Okay, I don't know, I'm not good with coloring, like so. Or we can put them in this center too, like so. I think this could work. This yellow is too bright. Let's go for something. Oh, this is font color. This is the background color. No. Okay, let's go with the color of the bottom here. Yeah. Well, you can do this according to what suits you. We're just trying to show ourselves that you can change things and make them suit what exactly we need. Now, if you want to understand the alignment very well, you will see that this row now, all these letters and everything are on the bottom of those cells. So if you want, you can put them at the middle like so, and because of space, you will not notice the actual alignment on these cells, for instance, because it seems to be in the middle already. But when this cell is increased, or those cells is increased, you see that the data are already aligned to the bottom of the page. So you can also align to the top like so, or to the middle, or to the bottom like so. So yeah guys, we have been able to do some formattings right now, and I think anybody looking at this, okay, because of what we did the other time, let's go ahead. So like so, I think we should have a tick bottom border here, just one tick bottom border, or tick bottom border right there. Now we can save our work. Let's try to print. Now we have this. Let's assume somebody or a manager or somebody needs to see it before we pay this gross. Let's put this as gross, not total. Okay, because this is gross of each of these records. We have the gross here and the total gross here, but the net, because if you calculate this and this together, we should still get this, because we are deducting this from this to get this, and that's the maths behind it. And let's save our work again. Well, if this is not pleasant to you, please, you are free to do, format it the way you want. This is just a training purpose. It's not for commercial or for industry. It's just for training purpose. So let's go ahead and what can we do here? This is a working file, so there's no need for presentation or anything. So we want to print this page out. Now there's just one way to print. You go to file and print, or the shortcut using Ctrl P on your system. So when you want to print, assuming you want to print something like this, there's several ways Excel sees what you're doing. A page, there's need for you to format your page and all that, but usually what I honestly used to do in order to print is to highlight what I need to print, like so, or even some spaces around it like this, and then with that selected, I'll go to file and select print. First you need to select the printer. This may not be the same view if you're not using the same type of Excel version, but it's the same concept. You always see this print dialog. We call it print dialog on your system. So the very first thing you need to do is to select the appropriate printer that is installed on your system. For me, I have just this one printer, but it's not on right now because I don't want to print it out. But in most cases, you may want to convert your document to PDF first, which in fact is good for this presentation or training rather, because you don't want to print it out as a real hard copy. We can save it as PDF on our system. Now if you don't see this on your system, well, probably you are using old operating system, because most systems now will have this Microsoft Print to PDF installed by default on them. So you can just select it. In fact, you can have properties on it to select the kind of paper and the kind of orientation you want. This is landscape. This is portrait. You can change it to landscape. Landscape is when you flatten your paper like so. You can see the preview here. We want it in portrait, and I can go ahead and select the type of paper that I want to print on. Usually we use A4. I click on OK. I click on OK just to set this printer. And now we have these settings, which is where you want to focus your attention on. After selecting your printer, you want to focus your attention on this other setup, actually these settings, because it is very important that you, for instance, these settings, you said you want to print active sheet, means that you're printing the whole sheet on your all the sheet that has that you are currently focused on, and everywhere you have data on the cell, it's good to look at it and try to bring them into printing dialog. But if you are able to say you want to print the entire workbook, or you can only print selection, which is what I've done, the simple highlight. But My highlighting, normally you can see that it has exceeded more than a page. Like we have page 2 and page 3. This is what will come out when I print, if I print this, even my selection. And this is the preview of what is going to show. So the third page is just going to have this, and the second page will just have this, and the first page is going to have just this. But you can see it's a waste of paper, because obviously what I did could be fit into a page. Now we're going to talk about fitting that into a page in just a moment. Why don't we, let's try to change the orientation if it will fit in. Instead of going to this printer property, we can just come here to change paper orientation to landscape, and you can see the preview here. Now we have two pages, the first and the second page. It is not still what we wanted. In the long run, or in the short run, usually if I want to print rather, as I get to this printing dialog, if I press Ctrl P, I have highlighted what I want to print. I press Ctrl P, immediately I select the printer that I need. I just come to this page setup. Here I have the opportunity to adjust the page to fit in exactly to what I need. Usually when the page, if I know that the page is too much to contain a page or what have you, so I just go in to do the quick fix, select the orientation you want, and then the scaling. So I just fit everything into one page wide by 1 page tall or 2 page tall or what have you tall. It depends on the kind of document you want to print. Now I know that my page will fit into 1 page wide and 1 page tall, and it's in landscape, and I've selected the A4 paper. If I have a different paper, I'll select and I'll click on OK. You will see immediately the outcome of or a preview of what will happen, and here you see that is page 1 of 1, so it's just a page. Now after doing all this configuration, if I'm not okay with it, you can still go back to page setup. You can adjust the margin. The margin is the space between your content and the edge of the paper. The settings are here. You have 0.5 to top, that is distance between the top edge of the paper and the the content inside the paper. If this thing is not enough for you, the space are not enough to contain, you can start adjusting. If you, for instance, delete this one, or put 0. We're not going to see any effect. I'm sure there's not going to be effect, because, well, we have effect anyways. You can see, because I deleted that margin to be 0, it is adjusted. This is the margin. Let's clear this other margin too. I'll put 0 there. You can also include header and footer, so many things you can do here, but this is not what we wanted. As you can see, it as so if you're done with this small editing, you can go ahead and print. Obviously, because I'm not printing out a hard copy, it's just going to save as PDF for me. I can print it out later if I want, but at that point, if you are connected to a real printer, now the paper must have been rolling and you will see the outcome of your printer. But I want to save this January salary to give director for him to sign. Now we can put authorized signature here. Here, just underline this place or tick button border. Like I say, here, authorized signature. If director is supposed to sign, so let's hold this, italize and increase the font size. like so. We can decrease this space like so, so that the person signed and done. So let's try to print this again, so the manager can sign it. So I'm just going to press Ctrl P, as you can see, because I'm printing my selection alone. You can also print the entire workbook, it's still the same, but this one has gone to 2 pages because I'm printing the entire workbook, which included the salary structure or scale page. Yeah, we can just print the active sheet. Is that one sheet that we're working on, the first page, so we have nothing else to work. But now, so it will always pick the current page you're working on. Instead, I'll always select my selection, and everything looks okay, as you can see from here, the preview. And I'll print and try to overwrite this one because it doesn't have this authorized signature before. So I'm going to select it and I'll overwrite it. The system will ask me if I want to overwrite. Yes, I do want to overwrite. And like you can guess, it must have been overwritten. Since I can open this like so. Yeah, looking at this thing, it looks too tiny and all that, but we can increase the cell sizes, highlighting the whole cell on the row and just dragging across like so, and means I can put all of these values in the center like so, and this should look more presentable to the manager who is going to sign our. Let's increase all of these to the whole size, the width, then we can do the same like so. So it looks better this way a little bit, and you can increase the cell size here too and put them in the center. I mean, align them to the center. Let's take in this side so we differentiate. You can also draw borders too and change the line color if we want. You will not see it, but it's blue, so let me just undo that. It's not what we want. I'm going to save our work and let's try to print again. So like so, we have highlighted and we're going to print. We're connected to the appropriate printer. We have select the selection, orientation is okay, setup, we're okay with everything. There's more settings than we have done right now, but we are limited to our own course. So this is what we have. When I'm through, I can select copies here too. This may not be the same arrangement in your own print dialog, but usually you see the same options. I mean, it not just be arranged the same way. If you're using Excel 2007 or so, this page setup may not be here, it may be somewhere else, so you have to look for it and then select the appropriate, make the appropriate settings, and then you can go ahead to print. I'm still going to overwrite this. I'm going to save it and like so. So I'm going to close this. I'll open it again. Yeah, so we can send this one as an email to manager, or we can print it and hand it over to him. If he signs, then we can go ahead and write checks out, including well, we don't have account numbers here, so very soon we are still going to get to that part where we just, the moment we have this authorized signature, we don't need to start typing out names again. Hey, something's wrong here. We're having first name instead of full name. What is going on? Something is not right. Let's unhide. Oh, we did not hide the appropriate cells or columns. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to hide that. This is what we're supposed to have. So very soon we're going to have bank and the bank details. Maybe in the next video we're going to have bank details of people, so that if we need to prepare bank advice right from this place, we can just go ahead and, after preparation of our salary scale, of our salary payroll, we can just hide some of these things and then just print out what the bank needs to do their payment, and print that out or send it via email to our bank, and then they can do their own processing and everybody is fine. All right. So at this point I think we can call this video a success. If you enjoy this one, please give a thumbs up. Otherwise you can leave your complaints so that maybe we can be able to address. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so right in the bottom right there, and make sure the notification button is on as well, so that when the next video is up for us, we can be notified and have something to learn. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.